Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Adam. This is Friday Sews. So I have been MIA for the last 2 weeks. I had the joy of getting shingles in my eye, which is why I do apologise for the state of me, but my eye is still not completely healed. It is much better than it was. I looked like I was going to run over to the church that is opposite me and start ringing the bells. And I'm glad that that is hopefully behind me for now. So besides that, I haven't really had the energy or the get up and go to do much in the sewing room. I have, however, accumulated more Tula, which is tucked away all behind me. And I did get some really stunning Roald Dahl fabric from Fabrics by Penny community group on Facebook. This one says all different things over it. It says horrible little slugs, you witless weed, and lots of other things. And it has got Miss Trunchbull and some of the children from the Matilda storyline. I have got the matching ones of these hidden away somewhere. And I've also got the witches as well. I just love Roald Dahl books. They remind me of my childhood, and the imagery that is done by Quentin Blake is brilliant. It's very different to other illustrations, and I do use it from time to time, but I kind of like just having it just in my stash, just because I like looking at it. Dobby is on the floor chewing a bone. If you're wondering what the noise is, he likes to come and annoy me the minute I'm trying to film. He's like a naughty child. And now he's gone in the other room with it. So besides that, I haven't really got much more sewing to be talking about. Dobby, can you go in there with it? Stay in there. Thank you. So I did manage to start working my way through the 100 Modern Quilt Blocks book by Tula before I got sick. And I got up to I've got the first 3 blocks done. I sent a copy of this to a lovely friend of mine, and it was her birthday. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to send her a copy of this because she loves making blocks, and she's not the biggest Tula fan, but the blocks that are in this book are brilliant. I mean, the illustrations alone are brilliant, but you go through different chapters where you make blocks out of strips, you make blocks out of... There is one that you make it out of different squares. There's one that you make out of rectangles. There's one that's made out of diamonds. And they just vary. So there's a couple that are half square triangles. So if you've never done any quilting before, or you want to sort of expand your quilting and get used to doing sort of blocks of different shapes, it's really good because it ends up piecing together lots of different shaped pieces, which you don't really see a lot, which is quite nice about this, the fact that they are more modern blocks rather than your sort of like traditional sort of log cabin blocks and different things like that. So I just thought I'd quickly show you the first 3 that I have done. These all finished at 6.5-inch blocks. He's back again with that stupid bone. This is the first one, which I used all of the different monkey wrench fabrics. This is the second block, which uses a lot of 1-inch strips to make a sort of log cabin style block that's kind of like 4 together. And the third one is this one here, which I used Alice's face in the centre. So they are pretty much all of the sewing that I got done this week. I have... However, I will actually just show you something else that I got this week. Bear me 2 seconds. So one of the other things that I did get is this Pump Action Misting Spray, which I just got dual tone because I thought it looked pretty. And this is full of my Best Press spray for pressing garments. So it's like a spray starch alternative. But the way that it builds up pressure and mists is really handy. This, I think, was about £8 off Amazon or something, and I don't really rate Amazon in terms of trying to promote them because they have way too many people buying from them rather than from small businesses. But sometimes needs must. If you can't get out of the house, which I couldn't last week, I wanted something that I could put my Best Press in, because if you buy the 500ml bottles of Best Press, they are a nightmare. The trigger, they just squirt everywhere and you end up with more of it running down the trigger all over your hands than you do on the actual fabric. Whereas this comes out in a really light mist, so it disperses really well, and it means that I can decant all of my best press into here. And when it starts getting low, I can just buy a refill bottle, which is less packaging and less spray nozzles that can't be recycled. So that is one of my little top tips. If you use a lot of spray starch, or you like a bottle of water for pressing, then I would definitely look into buying one of these, because it has like a little canister type thing that as you pull the trigger, it builds up pressure inside. A little bit like how a soda stream works, but on a much more basic scale. So that is it really. I do want to say, however, that I would just like to point out, well, not point out, I just want to say a massive, massive thank you to Carol from So Carol, who sent me the most delicious bag of pick and mix, because she knows me too well, to try and cheer me up, which it did indeed. And I want to say a big thanks to Andra, Trish, Carol and Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room, because all of them have been like having multiple parents over the last 2 weeks, and they have been there and kept me sane, and they have cheered me on to try and get better quicker. And I just want to say a big thanks. Also big thanks to Marie from Marie Scrapper Creations, and to Anne as well, who have all been checking on me on a daily, if not twice daily basis, to find out how I'm doing. And I just want to say massive thanks. The sewing community is incredible, and I just want to say a big thanks to all of you for being there and looking after me, even if it was digitally. So that is it from me really for this week. I did get one more thing which I've just noticed out of the corner of my eye, which is, I went past, while I was at work, I went past the quilt room in Dorking, which is in the sort of Surrey Hills type area. And they are a really cute little quilt shop. They have a whole wall of Tula when you walk in. You literally walk in and the whole wall of the shop is just bolts and bolts of Tula. And I wanted one of the 6.5-inch Tula templates for squaring all the blocks that I'm making from that book. So if you are going to buy that book and you are going to work your way through all 100 blocks, which is what I am planning on doing, but I'm only like 3 in at the moment. My friend Anne has got to about 15, I think, maybe 20. She's sailing through that book. The Tula 6.5-inch template is really, really good. It is expensive, but it's pretty. And it has got the non-slip on the back of it, which a lot of them don't. So that I'm going to use for squaring up my blocks as I work through the book. So big thanks to everyone for watching. I will see you all soon. Take care. Bye.